All right, everybody. This is Chad Jordan. I'm Director of Marketing at Sport Clips Haircuts. And as everyone knows, October is our full-on Help a Hero month. Help a Hero is one of the main causes that we support at Sport Clips, where we raise money to provide scholarships to veterans that are transitioning really to the civilian workforce. And so we have stores all across the country right now actively raising money, doing fundraisers, pie in the face, selling little ducks. I know it sounds crazy, but just ask TN210. Bake sales, raffles, all sorts of things to be creative and get additional resources pouring into this organization, which is the VFW, is the one that we support. So we thought it'd be neat. We've already interviewed, let's see, TN210, the store that raises essentially the most money every year for Help a Hero. We've interviewed Lynn Rolfe, who is the program director of programs over at VFW, one of our favorite people, and also BJ Lawrence, who's the national commander or the commander-in-chief for the VFW right now. So we've had podcast interviews with them even over the course of the last few weeks and months, but we really wanted to connect with a scholarship recipient. So I'm extremely excited today, sitting down here, got a chance to talk to this individual a little bit before we connected through the podcast, but we have a scholarship recipient from Help a Hero, and we want to put a voice at least to the cause and a face. If you view us on Facebook or something, you'll see the selfie. But the scholarship recipient, I'm going to have him introduce himself, maybe a little bit about where he's come from in terms of military service and all of that. And we're just going to have a quick conversation just to touch base with him. So without further ado, why don't I have you introduce yourself?
Hi, how's it going? I am Adam Lawrence.
Hi, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
And you live, where are you at right now, Adam?
I'm in Claremont, right down the street.
Okay. So he's in Southern California. I know everybody's listening to this all over the country, so you don't know where we are, but we're in beautiful Southern California right now. Adam is a scholarship recipient going to school. What school are we going to?
Claremont Graduate University.
Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, but before I do, branch of service, you were with and the Army.
Yeah. Army.
And you're not active duty or reserve or anything right now?
No,
Okay.
I am out.
Okay.
I'm done.
You're out. you made it out, so congratulations there. How many years did you serve, and where, and what can you tell us about your military service?
Well, I joined right out of high school, 2007.
Okay. Are you from Southern California? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm local.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And why? Why are you thinking 2007? Did you see the economy was going a certain way, and you're like, you know what? I don't trust this thing. Let me get a guaranteed job for a couple of years and see what happens, or what drew you to it?
I wish I had a cool story that I could sit and tell you right now, but
it wasn't one of those like you got busted and the judge says, "Hey, you got to join the Army or else." Is it?
No,
okay,
no.
All right.
Worse, I was at Hometown Buffet.
With making me hungry.
Yeah.
All right. Having all the desserts at Hometown Buffet. Okay.
That's it. And I was with my buddy, and we were just like, "Hey, let's
do something
join
crazy."
the Army." Yeah. And so my dad was in the Army.
Oh, okay.
He was in for 8 years, and
All right.
then way before I was born. And then my grandpa, he was in World War II, and he was in the Army as well. So it wasn't.
But it
like,
had never been like pressured, like
nope,
you know.
not at all.
Okay.
Even
You're
when
talking
I
to
joined,
an Air Force brat here,
Yeah.
who my dad and my uncles,
Yep.
and so there was a little bit of expectation, like, hey, if you want to join the Air Force, it's always there for you. But so you were just kind of left to it. Your dad didn't, or no one in your family really pressured you to join.
Yeah, it was never
Just
a
you and your
conversation.
buddy, just
hanging out.
Yeah, at the ice cream fountain at Hometown Buffet, or thinking, you know, would it be great?
Just, why not? We wanted to jump out of airplanes. That was the plan.
Okay.
So
Daredevils.
I went to we wanted to get paid to jump out of
Uh-huh.
airplanes. So
Had you ever skydived before?
no,
Okay.
never. Just thought that should be a profession immediately. And then went to the recruiting station and
Which public service announcement here? Maybe the recruiting station should be in a hometown buffet.
Maybe.
I mean, we might have stumbled onto something here, man. All right, so okay, sorry. You
Genius.
go to the recruiting station.
well, actually, yeah. So we go there, and then the recruiter was just like, "Oh yeah, if we want to jump out of airplanes, you just sign up to be 11 Bravo, which was the identifier, which is infantry." And so I didn't get airborne.
Like this danger signs start flashing when he's talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
or-
I didn't think when you had to land out of the airplane, you had to do infantry stuff. But
right. They don't just drop you for the fun of it. They need you to do something
Yeah.
when you land.
so I actually, God, I hope I'm not painting a terrible picture of myself, but
We're
I
fine.
didn't even get airborne in my contract.
Okay.
The
Oh.
recruiter was like, "Hey, when you get to basic, they're gonna ask who wants to be airborne."
Mhm.
Volunteers, and that's when you do it. And I was like, that makes total sense
Yeah.
because I'm 18 and I don't know any better. So I just
But in hindsight, you should have insisted. Is that where what you realize now?
actually, well, no, I actually,
Okay.
yeah, hindsight. I'm glad everything worked out because
So you get to basic, which is where? Is this Fort Bragg or?
Fort Benning,
Okay. Is that Georgia?
yeah, Fort Benning, Georgia,
Okay.
Sand Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't get airborne, and they sent me off to Fort Drum, New York, which is light infantry, which means we don't even get cars. We get to walk
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Great.
Don't get planes.
So,
don't get
no,
cars.
You're
Don't
not
get
dropping
any.
out of planes. You're just walking all over the place.
Yeah, that's luckily in practice and deployment we got some Humvees, but
And your hometown buffet buddy, is he going through class with you, or is he
he
long
got
gone?
airborne
Ah,
actually. Yeah,
no.
no, he went to base. He was a intel.
Okay.
He didn't go infantry. He went intelligence, which isn't. I guess all he did during his service was laminate maps, but he got airborne, so he got to jump. So
Have you ever jumped out of
Still
a plane?
haven't,
Okay,
ever,
all right.
never.
That's a bucket list thing. We got to make it happen for
Yeah.
Adam Lawrence somehow, some way, man. But all right, so you're in Fort. So now you're walking around.
yep,
You're thinking, Lord have mercy. And how long are you in for?
4 years.
Okay, 4 years. And are you stateside the whole time? Are you deployed at any point?
I deployed 2009, 2008, to Baghdad.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi
Little place
City.
called Baghdad.
Yeah.
You might have heard of it. Yeah.
Fun
Yeah.
times were had by all.
And what is that? A year that
Yeah.
you're over there?
It was 9 months, and then 9 months turned into 12 months. So
And is it 9 months and 12 months with a calendar and a Sharpie, and you are marking down the days before you get home, or how does that? What does that look like when you're over there?
I really didn't have any. So they said the 9 months. We actually we finished up all our obligations or whatever, and we went to the big base because we were at a really small base when we were deployed. It was just our company in the middle of Solder City, and so after 9 months, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna turn in our vehicles, turn in our ammo. We're gonna go home," and they're like, "It's gonna happen next week," and then they're like, "Oh, it's gonna happen next week,"
Mm-hmm.
and then a month later, they're like, "Oh, we're going back out." So I didn't no calendar 'cause
Right.
there's
At that point, you just can't trust
Yeah.
that it's gonna.
yeah, because when you get your orders to deploy, you look at it, and like one of the first thing it says duration or change of, I forget what it says, but it says for 9 months or until mission complete,
Oh gosh.
which means whatever the hell it
Right.
wants to mean.
Yeah.
So-
It's an open-ended dash.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the other end of it. It's just when they see fit to bring you back. So this is what 2010.
Yeah, 2000, yes.
2010. Okay.
Yeah.
So Bin Laden, he's still around at that point, right?
No.
Okay,
this
all
was-
right. He had been taken care of already. I can't remember when he got.
Oh, Bin Laden.
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
meant. Yeah, Bin Laden was still around.
Okay, so
I
he's still
believe.
there's all right.
Because I was in New York. I remember when when seeing
They got
that on
taken
TV.
out,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But it definitely wasn't patty cake and balloons and unicorns when you're deployed over there. I mean, you definitely were kind of probably in the thick of it over there. And
I mean, it wasn't Vietnam or
Right.
anything. My deployment was a little better than others, and thankfully, it was just a lot of presence patrols.
Yeah.
You're just walking around, letting people know you're still around. A lot of falafels were eaten.
Yes.
Good times were had.
You ever go to Doha on a retreat, a Qatar? No? Okay, all right. Anyways, I spent some time in the Middle East there, but there's a base there that people go for R&R when they're deployed.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay, all right.
I didn't get.
You weren't there that long where they're like, okay, we got to give this guy a weekend pass. But,
No, I didn't. My friend got one, I think, to Dubai. I don't know where he went.
somewhere to escape the madness. But you're there a year. Your
Yeah.
year finally gets up.
Yep.
Is the whole company get to come home, or is it kind of one at a time?
It was we deploy as a brigade. I didn't see anyone from my brigade the whole time except for my company, and then I don't know how many people stayed because it wasn't. My company stayed for the extension, but not everyone from the brigade stayed. So a lot of people went back, but yeah, it was everyone else.
Yeah.
Headed back.
You head back, and you're still in?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Still in. That was pretty much the middle of my service. I think I had about 2 years left.
And they take you back. Where do you come to
I
after?
went back straight to Fort Drum.
Okay.
We got back
More marching.
October.
Yeah. Walking around.
Fun fact. I don't know if this is true, but I'm gonna pretend it is because that's what they told us. Fort Drum is the coldest military installation. They say, I never saw them, but they say people from Alaska come to do cold weather training.
What?
At
Or Minot,
Fort
North
Drum.
Dakota? Holy moly.
Yeah,
is it
so-
near like Buffalo? Is that where the area is?
It's above it. It's 20
okay.
miles south of Canada, but it's right there on the edge of Lake Ontario. So all that lake effect snow just gets
So you go from Baghdad
right.
to Canada, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So it gets cold. It snows. I think we got back October, and it snows Halloween every year. That's when it starts. So
And you're in a couple more years,
a couple more years.
and you're like, I miss California.
Yeah.
This is my time is up. So you discharge, or what?
Yeah.
What is that? Was it even a decision? You knew that once you did your 4 or 5 years or whatever, that was going to be your time, or
I want because they were deploying. I got out in April 2012, and I think they deployed like May or June 2012, and I was like, hey, I'll re-enlist for deployment because I had just gotten my sergeant a year before that, and I was like, I'll go to Afghanistan because they were going to Afghanistan. And I was like, I'll go to Afghanistan if I can re-enlist for deployment.
so you
and
wanted to
they-
re-enlist and not stay stateside. You
No,
wanted,
deployment was so much better than
wow.
being garrison.
Okay. Because there's
well,
activity and your
It's
your
a whole
adrenaline
different,
is flowing every day. I mean,
no, it's just it's different. And plus, when I got in, it was like it was a quote unquote wartime mindset where like I was infantry and I was light infantry, which means we walked, we did crap. So my boots would be dirty because whatever. And so in garrison my boots would be dirty. And then when we got back, a lot of people got out. I still had 2 years, but a lot of people didn't, and a lot of the leadership were getting out, and so it was transitioning from a wartime mindset to not that, I guess.
Paper pushing kind of, right?
Right.
Yeah, like
So-
what's the threat? Yeah, right. Okay.
We got a new platoon sergeant, and he'd never deployed in 18 years. He worked for TRADOC, which is the training command or whatever it's called. And so I got in trouble a lot because he was very by the book.
Yeah.
And he was like, why are your boots dirty? I was like, why the hell do you think they're dirty? And like marching everywhere, you see it in the movies, everyone's marching everywhere, but like that's not
That's not
fun.
it's not what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I like to go in the wood line, do react to fire drills and stuff like that, play around. But
So you wanted to deploy it, and they couldn't guarantee that, or
they're just like, no, that's not a thing.
Okay.
So maybe it was, I don't know, but it ended up not happening, and so I was like,
so you didn't want another 4 or 5 years of being stateside,
yeah,
and
just
marching in the woods, and
so
freezing your tail off. Right.
So I was
All right,
like,
so you get out.
yeah,
Right.
I got out, and
you come back to Southern California right away, or do you explore what happens?
just come back.
Mm-hmm.
I had the mindset of college because high school I was not a good student.
It's because you're skipping for the hometown buffet desserts,
That's
man, and the all you can eat roast beef. You weren't going to class. You and your buddy were bad. He was a bad influence on you. All right,
we can blame him for everything.
So you realize I need to go get something more education wise.
I was looking forward to it. I have the GI Bill, so that's the greatest gift in the world.
So tell me, did you had that? I mean, that was part of what is that an incentive for when you went in, or
no?
Was
not
it
at
okay?
All.
How does that work? Because I don't know. I don't know how the GI Bill works.
I had no desire to continue education in high school, and then joining. I was like, I would never.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
never
done. Thank God.
do that.
Like you graduated high school, you're like, no, I'm never going to study again in my life.
Barely made it out alive. I'm not gonna do that to myself again. But yeah, so I thought, I don't know. I was just racking my brain. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to college, but what am I gonna do? And so I landed on architecture. I don't know how I got to that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never drawn anything in my life. And so, I got out. I went to my parents for like a couple months or whatever, just to kind of get back to the swing of things. And I found Pasadena City College. And so they have an amazing architecture program. One of the only
amazing city college. I mean,
it is
one of the best in the country.
Yeah, everything about it is perfect. And so that was a little far from my parents' house. And so I was like, I'm just going to go to Pasadena and go to community college. And that's kind of where like everything kind of changed for me at Pasadena.
All right. Like what? What started happening?
Just like that my previous mindset of like, school's dumb.
Okay. So a light bulb literally went off.
Yeah. And I really owe it to like they have an amazing veteran resource center there. The people there, like they need a shout out because they are the ones who helped me.
Now,
transition.
Did you find them, or they realized they looked through their enroll and they saw, we got a veteran here. We need to reach out to him.
They have such a big community that it's just all over campus.
Okay.
So
I
couldn't.
Escape it.
Yeah.
Like, I was a veteran.
I just walked in and I saw, hey, that might be for me. So they had a program. I hope they still do. It's called Boots to Books.
Okay.
And so it's such a huge school. There's a bunch of veterans got out that they kind of try to bring in all the veterans they can for their first semester. They will do the Boots to Book kind of program where they take. When I did it, I don't know if it's changed. You take your English class. You take classes that are going to work towards transferring because community college is transfer. And so you're in a cohort. There's like 20, 25 people.
And they're all veterans that
all
you're
veterans,
in with?
Yeah.
So it's like a class. It's like a company.
Yeah. It's
right.
another, I'm back in the military again. And you take the same classes with each other. So for that first semester, there was an English class, an anthropology class, and a couple of like I don't know.
Prerequisite.
Yeah, prereq
Yep.
classes, and they're led by faculty who have dedicated a portion of their life to helping veterans succeed. And it was just an amazing experience, just because, if I went to, my first class and I sat down and there was some like 18-year-old,
Right.
What I was before I joined the Army, I would punch myself or him or whatever. But no, I was and it was just a huge range of people, I think one of my closest friends was like some 40-year-old, like retired master sergeant.
After 20 years in, exactly.
So if I would punch some 18-year-old, God knows what he would do. And it really just got us into this mindset. And I think having a program, wherever a veteran ends up, these programs really cater to the idea of like you can succeed in academia. And so I think I don't know how many veterans went to, or however many people from my company went to the university after. And if like a veteran wants to do, if they have like a goal, a mind after they get out, like that's amazing. But I know a lot of people don't. And I know a lot of them stay away from college because they're just like, nah, like I can't do that.
Intimidation.
Yeah. And then they settle for the quick, easy paycheck, which, if that's what they want, it's amazing. But going to community college, in my opinion, community college, with a veteran resource center is probably the most important thing a vet can do, like right after they get out.
Wow.
So that's my
transition. That's your plug.
Yeah,
right?
that's my plug. Go to community college.
So
meet with these people.
So you do that for how many years?
I was there for 2 years. Actually, so it's funny because I placed really low. So I don't know if I've said this yet, but I'm a math major.
Okay.
Nerd. Now,
No,
yeah,
kidding,
I know.
just
No, I
kidding.
am. Those damn nerds. So yeah, architecture. I'm not good at drawing.
Okay.
Big prereq.
Yeah. Kind of the number one qualification for being an architect.
Having a vision. So I kind of like fiddled around with what I wanted to do, and like I said, I sucked at high school, like bad. It took me, I think, 4 years to get through algebra or something. My parents said that like my professors or teachers were calling them, being like, "Hey, he's not going to graduate. Like he needs to get his shit together." So when I went to community college, I had the architecture idea, and they needed to take freshman level physics. I'm like, physics? This is dumb. Like, what? I'm just here to draw. Why would I waste my time with numbers? So I placed really low into the math portion of, there's so many classes to get to calculus, so I could take physics. And so I had to enroll in another cohort of people who weren't good at math that needed to do math.
Is this
accelerated.
veteran related, or
No?
this
is just
there weren't enough veterans that weren't good at math that they couldn't make a group of them.
No, this is just for everyone who just was bad at math. And so, I was in two cohorts, and I don't know, just something about being in this math cohort, just I don't know. I
Sparked
placed
something.
I placed in pre-algebra, which I think 10-year-olds take in elementary school. That's what I was taking at 23-year-old. And I just kept going, I guess. I don't know. So I changed to math. And then I transferred to Cal Poly Pomona, another
great.
Amazing school.
I'm in San Luis Obispo area, so Cal Poly is, our local college.
We're Cal Poly down here. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah. We're Cal Poly South. We're Cal Poly North. You're Cal Poly South. But
That's it. But yeah, they have a big veteran community too, and they took lower division transfers, which means I didn't have all my stuff completed, but they didn't want everything completed, so I transferred over there and spent three-ish years there and graduated with a degree in applied
Awesome.
math.
wow, what year?
Last year, 2018.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
and you walk. Was there a ceremony and you're walking on
Yeah.
the stage?
I
and-
did. That was, when was it? June, a couple months ago.
How cool.
And girlfriend got completely sunburned. It was
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. Yeah, I showed up in flip flops too, because
Wow.
I thought like
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, just commemorating one of the most important achievements you're ever going to have in life. You know, why get dressed up? You know?
I
You're gonna be
didn't
wearing a
think
gown
about it.
anyways.
Yeah, that's exactly. Flip flop. I was the only one. People stared, but
I'm glad it didn't scar you for life or anything. You know. But so
Great
you,
times. I wore shoes for you, by the way.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll when we do our selfie later, we'll have to make sure we get the shoe shot. But you're still going. You're still in school.
I am. I didn't stop.
There wasn't enough. I mean, the
No
guy that
one-
in high school was like, "I'm never taking another class,"
Yeah.
is now addicted. And so, what's your schooling like right now? What are you up to?
Well, what led to this chain of events was during my time in undergraduate, I worked at JPL, which is a NASA facility here in Pasadena, focused on
Do we have to have a like security clearance to listen to this portion of the podcast, or how?
Maybe.
Does
I
this
don't know. I don't
Oh,
work
boy.
with-
Okay, all right. We might have Big Brother kind of. We'll have a presidential alert going out on all our phones here.
Oh my God.
Warning us not to listen to this portion of the podcast. Anyways, okay. So you're working at JPL, some NASA work, and loving it. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just another amazing opportunity I was given.
And
I
this
worked there.
started. You were still in school when this was
Yeah.
going on. Okay, so you were
Yeah.
kind of doing both. I see.
I met some amazing faculty, and at PCC, which I keep plugging because it's an amazing school and I owe them a lot. But they directed me to people I can get in contact,
Wow.
and so I ended up working. I was academic part-time at JPL, which means full-time in between semesters, part-time during. And I worked in energy technologies, specifically the battery for. There's a satellite. It's gonna fly in a couple of years. It's called Clipper. It's gonna go to Jupiter and do a couple of flybys because they think that Europa, one of the moons there,
Could have life?
could have life.
Yeah.
Underneath the surface.
Mhm.
It's a big old lake, and so
All that water. There's got to be something swimming
this,
in it.
yeah,
you
I
know?
don't know. Maybe they wear flip flops there too. So yeah, but being in this research environment, I could be with a bachelor's degree. I could have worked there and been like a lab tech, which is an amazing job, great. But I wanted to be the person who would make the decisions. I was basically I was like a private at JPL. I was told what to do and how to do it, and now, but I want to be. I guess the officer, but that's gross. thing
Yeah,
to
I
say.
know for
I
an
would-
enlisted guy to
Yeah,
say that,
I don't-
right?
that
Yeah,
was-
but how about the sergeant at least?
Yes,
you know?
yeah, why not?
Right.
Sure.
And so that's led you to grad school.
Grad school, yeah. So I applied. I got into Claremont Graduate University.
Which is not a shabby place
It's
to get an education.
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
that's up there.
it's I don't know, just being on that campus, I'm just like this isn't real.
Right.
And I think probably 90% of the reason I chose that school is because I live half a mile from it, and I had been commuting about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day for years.
Yeah.
And then now I'm there.
Yeah.
And I love it. But no, it's academics is also pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
But so the plan, the goal, and especially thanks to Sports Clips and the VFW, is now a master's program. So that's 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna take some classes, and then after the 2 years, I take this test, it's the comprehensive exam, and it's basically, do I know everything about undergraduate math? And so if I pass this exam, then I advance to the PhD level.
Wow.
And
You got your sights set on PhD as well?
that's the
Man.
direction. And
Dr. Lawrence.
Dr. Lawrence.
Okay. All right.
That's, yeah.
So you mentioned, I got to do it because you mentioned Sport Clips and VFW. So why are you saying thank you to them? Like what happened there? What's going on?
They just, the scholarship really just kind of say, because I'm deciding, do I want to be this lab tech?
Mm-hmm.
For just a few months ago, I was like, if I stay at JPL just with a bachelor's degree in lab tech, like that's it.
You can have a
It's done.
career.
Yeah,
But
but I wanted that more, and so, but the financial aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
seeing that bright shiny paycheck compared to like graduate student,
yeah, exactly.
dimes and nickels, and then Sports Clips and the VFW came along, and they were like, no.
How did they come along? Like, walk me through this. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, so
Are we out there, Sport Clips out there on college campuses saying, hey, everybody, come sign up as VFW, waving a flag? Like, what? How does that work?
I got the information from financial aid coordinators at CG Claremont. And they're like, oh, you're a veteran. Hey, check this out. This is a great thing. This is a link. Look at it. Take a look at everything.
Wow, that's cool. I did not know college campuses even knew about this scholarship.
Yeah, it's
and
there.
That they were the ones hyping. I mean, that's cool. So
yeah.
And they put you in contact. Who do you go through? To VFW or do you go to Sport Clips?
There's a website.
Okay,
that
so
it's
they
like
send you to the link.
yeah. But you guys, I saw YouTube videos of people walking around like it was like a thing, and I was like, hey, that could be me.
Yes.
I could be the guy with his mind at ease, thanks to you guys. And so I just went to the website and
what's the process? You fill out an application.
Yeah, just
Was there an interview or
No,
did it, or,
just a little statement of purpose, kind of who you are, what you're doing, where you're going.
And then what was the turnaround? You fill it out on a Monday, and by Tuesday, or is it a couple months later?
I think it was a few months.
Okay.
And it was just, hey, congratulations. Here you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And is that? I mean, was that the push? Was that like, all right, I should keep going, do the grad school thing, aim for the PhD?
Yeah. No, it definitely was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was, and again, you had a great career already going.
Yeah.
But you want more. You want to be on that satellite to Jupiter one day, right?
That would be fun.
Yeah, with your flip flops and your hometown buffet coupons. But getting the scholarship is, and the one of the things I love, I can't remember if it was with BJ or Lynn from the VFW. We were talking about veterans and how they transition to the civilian workforce, and how you even mentioned the intimidation factor. Sometimes if they don't want to do the finish their 4-year degree because they'll just go get a job. But I think maybe you have seen what an advantage that training in the military has given you with discipline and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's almost an unfair. I mean, it's not unfair, but you know what I mean? There's a leg up that you already have. So just sometimes these pushes in the right direction is the momentum that you really need to kind of propel you to these new heights and new places that you guys go to.
Yeah.
It's pretty fascinating.
I haven't gotten anywhere without someone pushing me. You know, join the Army. My
Right.
parents were.
Yeah.
I owe that to Hometown Buffet
Yeah,
and
right.
my parents.
Yeah, we should definitely link to Hometown Buffet in this podcast, the transcript of this at least. But I love your story, the connection. I mean, you walked in here. We had just casually kind of known each other. I think I feel like we're buddies at this point, and I'm serious. I'm starving right now, so I'm gonna Google or Yelp the nearest Hometown Buffet, and maybe we can go grab some lunch or something.
Oh my
But you've been tremendous. Everybody that's listening to this, that's wondering what difference does Help a Hero make, I hope you've heard it from Adam today. His background, his story, and it wasn't even he had known about, figured out Pasadena Community College, and kind of had already put those pieces together. So for him, he knew he wanted something more out of life, but then the Help a Hero scholarship, the VFW, came along and gave him that extra incentive to keep going for his graduate and eventually his PhD. So I want to thank you. I mean, dude, I told you, just give me 15 minutes of your time today, and here we are, like I said, half an hour later, just because I've had such a good time with you. So thank you so much for being on the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening and for supporting the VFW through the Help a Hero scholarship at Sport Clips, especially all month, October 15th through November 11th. Make sure you get donations into your local store and keep raising that money because it's making a difference. Thanks again, Adam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.